Previously on When One Night Changes Everything. Genevieve and Jin, best friends for 20 years, finally admitted they were in love at their company's anniversary party. They spent one perfect night together. Then morning came, and Genevieve panicked. She told Jin sleeping together was a mistake. She destroyed him with 5 words and walked away. Now, 12 days later, she's standing in her office bathroom staring at a pregnancy test. 2 pink lines. Positive. If you haven't watched part 1, the link is in the description. You'll want to see how we got here. And if you're already invested in Vieve and Jin's story, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because part 2 is about to get catastrophic. Trust me. You don't want to miss what happens when she finally tells Jin the truth. Now let's continue. The bathroom stall is too small. The walls press in. Genevieve stares at the pregnancy test in her hands. 2 pink lines that refuse to disappear no matter how many times she blinks. Positive. She's pregnant with Jin-Woo Park's baby. The man who won't speak to her. The man she destroyed with 5 words last Saturday morning. The man whose entire future could implode if anyone finds out they slept together. Vieve? Maya's voice filters through the door, worried. Talk to me. It's positive. The words come out hollow. Genevieve sets the test on the sink, picks up the second one. Her hands won't stop shaking. I should take the others. Make sure. Honey, 3 tests isn't going to change reality. But she takes them anyway. Because maybe the first one was a fluke. Maybe the morning sickness is stress. Maybe she's not actually pregnant with her best friend's baby 6 days after telling him sleeping together was a mistake. 5 minutes later, 3 tests sit in a neat row on the bathroom counter. All positive, all ravaging, all impossible to ignore. Maya helps her up from the floor, wraps her in a hug that smells like Chanel and sympathy. What do you need? A time machine, a do-over, a way to unscrew my entire life. Okay, but realistically. Genevieve pulls back, wiping her eyes. She hasn't cried yet, hasn't processed, is still somewhere between shock and complete emotional breakdown. I need to tell Jin. When? I don't know. He won't even look at me, Maya. How am I supposed to tell him I'm pregnant when he treats me like a colleague he barely tolerates? You figure it out, because keeping the secret, that's not an option. But figuring it out proves impossible. For 3 days, Genevieve carries the weight of this secret like a stone in her chest. She goes to work, sits in meetings, pretends everything is fine while her entire world tilts on its axis. She sees Jin in the hallway Wednesday afternoon. He's talking to the CFO about the quantum acquisition, all professional competence and quiet authority. When he notices her, his expression doesn't change. Just a polite nod. Colleague to colleague. It destroys her. Thursday, she tries to catch him after the executive meeting. He walks out with 2 board members, deep in conversation about integration strategy. She follows at a distance, waits for an opening. There isn't one. Friday afternoon, she stands outside his office for 10 minutes, hand raised to knock. Can't do it. The door is closed. Still closed. Always closed now. A physical barrier that matches the emotional one? She goes home without trying. The weekend is torture. Genevieve lies in bed Saturday morning, hand on her still flat stomach, trying to wrap her mind around the impossible. There's a tiny human growing inside her. Half her, half Jin. A baby neither of them planned. A complication that could destroy both their careers. A secret that's already eating her alive. She needs to tell him. Needs to figure out how to bridge the gap between them. Needs to find the courage she's been lacking since that horrible Saturday morning. Sunday evening, she finally texts him. The first communication since she walked out of his apartment. Can we talk? It's important. The 3 dots appear immediately, then disappear. Appear again. Disappear. Finally, Monday, My office, 7 a.m. Not, of course, not, are you okay? Just logistics. Professional distance. It's better than nothing. Genevieve barely sleeps Sunday night. Runs through a dozen versions of how to tell him. Practices in the mirror. Writes it down. Deletes it. Writes it again. I'm pregnant. We need to discuss something. Remember when we had sex? Well, there's a consequence. Nothing sounds right. Nothing makes this okay. At 6:45 Monday morning, she's standing outside Meridian's building, holding 2 coffee cups out of habit, muscle memory. Her hands shake so badly she almost drops them. The elevator ride feels eternal. The 20th floor is empty. She's never been here this early. Just her and the echo of her heels on polished concrete. Jin's door is open. He's at his desk, already working. His hair is pulled back today, and he's wearing a navy suit that makes him look older, more tired, like he hasn't been sleeping either. He looks up when she enters. Something flickers in his eyes. Pain, maybe, or longing, then disappears behind professional neutrality. You wanted to talk. Not a question, an acknowledgement. Genevieve sets the coffee on his desk. He doesn't touch it. Thank you for meeting me. What did you need to discuss? So formal, so careful. Like they didn't spend 20 years being each other's person. Like they didn't tell each other they were in love 12 days ago. She sits in her chair, the leather one that used to feel like home, and tries to find words that don't exist. I'm pregnant. The silence is deafening. Jin goes completely still. His face doesn't change, but she sees his hands grip the edge of his desk, sees the way his chest stops moving like he's forgotten how to breathe. What? I'm pregnant. With your baby. From that night. More silence. He's staring at her like she's speaking a language he doesn't understand, like the words are in the right order but the meaning won't compute. You're sure? 3 tests, and I'm 6 weeks late, and I've been throwing up every morning for a week. So yes, I'm sure. Jin stands abruptly, turns to the window. His shoulders are rigid, hands shoved in his pockets. When did you find out? Thursday. 4 days ago. His voice is flat. You've known for 4 days. I didn't know how to tell you. You won't even look at me anymore, Jin. How was I supposed to? By telling me. He spins around, and for the first time since that horrible Saturday morning, she sees emotion on his face. Anger, hurt, betrayal. You don't get to drop this bomb and act like you had no choice. You could have told me Thursday, or Friday, or this weekend. Instead, you kept it from me. You're right. I should have told you sooner. I'm sorry. Are you? The question is sharp. Because you said a lot of things that morning that didn't sound sorry. You said sleeping with me was a mistake. That it meant nothing. That you regretted it. I didn't mean... Yes, you did. He cuts her off. You meant every word. And now you're pregnant. And that's inconvenient, so you need me too. What? What do you want from me, Genevieve? The use of her full name feels like a slap. He hasn't called her Genevieve in years. I want to figure this out together. Together. He laughs, but there's no humor in it. We haven't been together since you walked out of my apartment. We're colleagues now, remember? Professional distance. That's what you wanted. That's not fair. None of this is fair. His voice rises. You told me you loved me, slept with me, then said it was a mistake and left. Do you have any idea what that did to me? And now you're pregnant, and I'm supposed to just... What? Pretend the last 12 days didn't happen? Genevieve's eyes burn with tears she refuses to shed. I was scared. I panicked. I said horrible things because I was terrified of what it meant for your career. Don't. Jin holds up a hand. Don't make this about protecting me. If you cared about my career, you would have thought about it before we slept together. Before you told me you loved me, before you made me believe there was a chance for us. I do love you. Stop. The word is quiet. Final. Just stop. I can't do this right now. He walks back to his desk, sits down heavily, runs both hands through his hair. That gesture she knows so well, the one that means he's overwhelmed and trying to think his way through an impossible problem. We need to figure out logistics. His voice is businesslike now. Doctor's appointments, prenatal care, how we're going to handle this at work. Jin, are you keeping it? The question stops her cold. Yes, I'm keeping the baby. Okay. He nods once. Then we need a plan. You'll need to disclose to HR. I'll need to talk to Dominic. The fraternization policy. We don't have to tell anyone yet. I'm only 6 weeks. Most people wait until... I'm not hiding this. His eyes meet hers, hard and unyielding. You want to figure this out together? Then we do it right. No secrets, no hiding. That could cost you the CEO position. Then it costs me the CEO position. He says it like it doesn't matter. Like 18 months of preparation and Dominic's dreams and his entire future is negotiable. I'm not going to be the kind of father who pretends his child doesn't exist to protect his career. Father. The word lands with weight, reality. We should take a few days to think about it, Genevieve says carefully. Make sure we're making good decisions, not reactive ones. Fine. We'll talk again Thursday. Set up a doctor's appointment. Get confirmation. Then we tell Dominic together. Together? You said you wanted to figure this out together. That means both of us. No more keeping things from me. It's not forgiveness. It's barely cooperation, but it's more than she expected after destroying him 12 days ago. Okay. Thursday. Jin turns back to his computer, dismissing her. The conversation is over. Genevieve stands, leaves the coffee on his desk untouched. At the door, she pauses. For what it's worth, I really am sorry. About everything I said. About hurting you. He doesn't look up. Noted. She leaves feeling worse than when she arrived. Have you ever had to deliver life-changing news to someone who can barely look at you? Someone whose trust you shattered? Drop a comment about how you'd handle it. And if you're feeling the weight of Vieve's situation right now, hit that like button, because it's about to get so much harder. Family is about to get involved. And trust me, they have opinions. The doctor's appointment is scheduled for Wednesday afternoon. Genevieve goes alone. Jin has the quantum integration meeting and... Besides, they're not exactly at the attend appointments together stage of whatever complicated situation this is. Dr. Sarah Chen is professional, efficient, and blessedly non-judgmental. She confirms what Genevieve already knows. 6 weeks pregnant, healthy, due in late June. Is the father involved? Dr. Chen asks while writing notes. It's complicated. Complicated how? We work together. We're not together, it's... Yes, he's involved. Mostly, I think. Dr. Chen looks at her over the rim of her glasses. You think? We're figuring it out. Okay. Well, you'll need support through this. Partner, family, friends. Pregnancy is hard enough without doing it alone. Genevieve nods like she has that support. Like her family won't freak out. Like Jin doesn't look at her with carefully controlled nothing instead of love. She leaves with a stack of prenatal vitamins and a pamphlet about nutrition during pregnancy that feels like evidence she's not ready for any of this. Wednesday evening, she calls her sister-in-law Amara. Not her brother David. He'll have too many opinions, too many questions. Amara is calmer, more measured. Maybe she can help figure out how to tell the family. I need to tell you something, Genevieve says after they exchange pleasantries. But you have to promise not to tell David until I'm ready. That sounds ominous. Are you okay? I'm pregnant. Silence. Then, Oh my God. Vieve, who's the father? Jin. More silence. Longer this time. Jin-Woo Park? Your best friend Jin? Yes. Since when are you two? I didn't even know you were dating. We're not. It was one night. And now everything is complicated. Complicated how? Genevieve explains. The party, the confession, sleeping together, the horrible morning after, the pregnancy test. Amara listens without interrupting, which is why she called her instead of David. When she's done, Amara lets out a long breath. Okay, that's a lot. I know. Does Jin know? Yes. As of Monday. He's not happy. I imagine not. What are you going to do? Have the baby. Figure out co-parenting. Try not to destroy both our careers in the process. And the relationship? There is no relationship. I ruined that. Vieve. I told him sleeping with him was a mistake, Amara. I told him I regretted it. Why would he want anything to do with me after that? Because he loves you? Amara says it gently. David's told me about Jin. The way he looks at you. The way he's always looked at you. That doesn't just disappear. It does when you destroy someone. Or maybe, Amara says carefully, he's hurt and defensive and doesn't know how to process that you are having his baby. Give him time. I don't know if time will fix this. Then you fight for it. You fight for him. You've been in love with this man for how long? Over a decade. Then don't give up now. Not when you're about to have his child. Not when there's still a chance. After they hang up, Genevieve sits in the dark of her apartment and wonders if Amara is right. If there's still a chance. If Jin could ever forgive her for what she said. She's still wondering Thursday morning when she walks into his office at 7 a.m. He's already there, coffee in hand. Not the one she brought. His own. From somewhere else. A small rejection that shouldn't hurt but does. I scheduled the appointment for Friday at 10, Genevieve says, to talk to Dominic, unless you want more time. Friday is fine. Jin's typing something, not looking at her. We should discuss what we're going to say. The truth. We had a relationship that violated company policy. I'm pregnant. We're committed to handling it professionally. We don't have a relationship. He finally looks at her. Let's be clear about that. We're going to co-parent. That's it. The words are designed to hurt, and they do. But Genevieve keeps her face neutral. Fine, we're going to co-parent. We need to figure out how that works with the fraternization policy. One of us will probably have to transfer. Or resign. I'll do it. The words come automatically. I'll transfer to the New York office, or I can resign if... No. Jin's voice is sharp. You're not sacrificing your career for this. Then what? You transfer? Jin, you're 6 weeks away from the board meeting that decides your future. You can't leave Seattle now. Then we'll figure something else out. Like what? I don't know yet. He stands, shoves papers into his bag with more force than necessary. But I'm not letting you throw away everything you've built. Not for this. Not for your baby, you mean? He freezes. That's not what I said. It's what you meant. No. Jin faces her fully now, and she sees something crack in his carefully controlled expression. I meant I'm not letting you sacrifice your career to protect mine. Again. You already did that 12 days ago when you said sleeping with me was a mistake. When you chose to protect my CEO prospects over us. I'm not letting you do it again. Jin, I'll see you Friday, 10 a.m., Dominic's office. He leaves before she can respond. Before she can tell him that she didn't choose his career over them. She chose fear over courage, and she's been regretting it every second since. Friday morning arrives too fast. Genevieve dresses carefully. Navy sheath dress, blazer, heels that make her feel taller than she is. Armor for what's coming. She braids her hair back, applies lipstick that's more confidence than color. In the mirror, she looks like the VP of Product Innovation. Successful. In control. Nothing like a woman whose entire life is imploding. Jin is already in Dominic's office when she arrives at 9:58. He's sitting in one of the leather chairs, spine straight, face neutral. He doesn't acknowledge her when she sits in the chair beside him. They're not touching. Not even close. Dominic arrives at exactly 10 a.m. He looks between them with knowing eyes and gestures for them to sit. This is an unusual request. Both of you asking to meet at the same time about a sensitive matter. He settles behind his desk. What's going on? Jin speaks first. Vieve and I had a brief relationship that violated company fraternization policy. She's pregnant. We're here to discuss how to handle it appropriately. Brief relationship. The description makes Genevieve want to laugh or cry, or both. 20 years of friendship, one night together, and a lifetime of consequences. Brief doesn't begin to cover it. Dominic goes very still. I see. How far along? 6 weeks, Genevieve says. We just found out. And you're keeping the baby? Yes. Dominic sits back, fingers steepled, assessing them both. This is problematic. We're aware, Jin says. That's why we're here. We want to handle it correctly. The fraternization policy is clear. Executive-level romantic relationships must be disclosed immediately and managed to prevent conflicts of interest. You didn't disclose, and now there's a child involved, which complicates things considerably. We understand if one of us needs to transfer, Genevieve says. I'm willing to relocate to... New York office has no VP-level openings. Dominic interrupts, and you can't resign. We'd have to justify why our VP suddenly left, which would lead to questions we can't answer without violating your privacy. Then I'll transfer, Jin says. You're being groomed for CEO. The board meets in 4 weeks to discuss succession. If you leave Seattle now, you're out of consideration. The words hang heavy in the air. This is it. The impossible choice they knew was coming. Then I'm out of consideration, Jin says quietly. I'm not asking Vieve to sacrifice her career for my mistakes. Our mistakes, Genevieve corrects. This isn't just on you. Dominic watches them carefully. There may be another option. They both look at him. The board doesn't need to know about your relationship. They need to know about the pregnancy. HR requires it once you start showing. But the details of how it happened? That's private. You want us to lie? Jin says flatly. I want you to protect your careers while being honest about what matters. You're having a child together. You're committed to co-parenting. That's what HR and the board need to know. The circumstances of how you got pregnant? That's nobody's business. It's deceptive, Genevieve says. It's strategic. Dominic leans forward. Listen to me. Both of you have worked too hard to let one night destroy everything. Jin, you're the best candidate for CEO this company has ever had. Vieve, you're irreplaceable in your role. I'm not losing either of you over this. What about the policy? Jin asks. You're not in a relationship now, correct? They both shake their heads. Then there's no current violation to disclose. What happened 6 weeks ago was a personal matter between consenting adults. What matters is what happens moving forward. And what happens moving forward? Genevieve asks. You establish clear professional boundaries. You work in different divisions with different reporting structures. You document everything to show there's no conflict of interest. And you don't let personal feelings compromise professional decisions. Jin's jaw tightens. We can do that. Can you? Dominic looks between them. Because I've watched you two dance around each other for years. I know there are feelings involved. Can you honestly work together every day, raise a child together, and maintain appropriate professional distance? Yes, Jin says firmly. Genevieve nods, though her heart breaks a little more. Yes. Then here's what we're going to do. Vieve, You disclose the pregnancy to HR next week. Medical documentation, estimated due date, the basics. Jin, you continue with succession planning as scheduled, in public, at work, your colleagues who are co-parenting. Nothing more. What about questions? Genevieve asks. People will want to know. Let them wonder. You don't owe anyone explanations about your personal life. If asked directly, you say it's private and redirect. Eventually, people will stop asking. Dominic stands, signaling the meeting is over. I'm serious about this. Both of you have bright futures here. Don't let one mistake derail that. Am I clear? Yes, they say in unison. In the elevator afterward, they stand in silence. Professional distance. Exactly what Dominic ordered. Thank you, Genevieve says quietly, for not letting me take the fall alone. I'm not that person. Jin doesn't look at her. We made this mess together. We'll handle it together. Together, but not really. Together in logistics and co-parenting and public presentation. Not together in the way that matters. The elevator dings. Jin steps out first, heading to his office without looking back. Genevieve watches him walk away and wonders how many more times her heart can break before there's nothing left. The weekend brings new complications. Saturday morning, David shows up at Genevieve's apartment unannounced. She's still in pajamas, hair wrapped, no makeup, her weekend uniform. She opens the door and knows immediately that Amara told him. We need to talk, David says. Genevieve steps aside, lets him in. Amara wasn't supposed to say anything. She's my wife. She's not keeping secrets like this from me. David settles on her couch, and she can see the big brother concern warring with judgment. Jin-Woo? Really? I don't want to discuss this. Too bad. You're my baby sister. You're pregnant with your best friend's baby, and apparently nobody thought to mention this to family. So yes, we're discussing it. Genevieve sits in the chair opposite him. What do you want me to say? How about start with what you were thinking? I wasn't thinking. We got drunk. We slept together. Now I'm pregnant. That's the story. That's the what, not the why. Why would you risk 20 years of friendship for one night? Because I'm in love with him. The words come out harsh, frustrated. Because I've been in love with him since college and I'm tired of pretending I'm not. David's expression softens slightly. Does he know that? He did. I told him. Then I panicked the next morning and said it was a mistake and I regretted it. Jesus, Vieve. I know. I'm aware I'm an idiot. Does he love you? She thinks about that night on the balcony. The way Jin said, I've been in love with you since college, like it was the truest thing he'd ever spoken. The way he looked at her like she was his entire world. He did. Past tense. People don't fall out of love that fast. They do when you destroy them. David is quiet for a moment. Then, what does Jin want? To co-parent, to keep things professional, to act like that night never happened. And what do you want? Everything. She wants everything. Him, the baby, the life they could have built together if she hadn't been so scared. It doesn't matter what I want. It absolutely matters. David leans forward. Mom and Dad are going to have questions. The family is going to have opinions. But what I need to know is, do you love him enough to fight for this? There's nothing to fight for. He's made it clear we're just going to co-parent. Then make it unclear. Remind him why he fell in love with you in the first place. I don't think that's how it works. That's exactly how it works. You don't get to give up now, Vieve. Not when you're about to have his baby. Not when there's still a chance. It's exactly what Amara said. Fight for it. Fight for him. But Genevieve doesn't know how to fight for someone who won't even look at her. Sunday evening, Jin texts. The first personal communication since that Monday morning confession. My parents want to meet tomorrow. Dinner at the restaurant, 6 p.m. Genevieve stares at the message. His parents. She's known them for 20 years, eaten at their Korean restaurant 100 times. But meeting them as the woman pregnant with their son's baby? That's different. She types back. Did you tell them? Yes. They want to meet properly. What does that mean? I don't know. But we're doing this together, remember? Together. That word keeps haunting them. Okay. 6 p.m. I'll be there. She spends all Monday dreading it. The restaurant, Park's Kitchen, is in Fremont, tucked between a yoga studio and a vintage bookshop. Genevieve has been here countless times. It smells like home, soy sauce and garlic, and the fermented tang of kimchi. Jin is already there, sitting at a table in the back with his parents and his younger brother James. They all look up when she enters. Soo-Jin Park, Jin's mother, stands immediately. She's tiny, elegant, formidable in the way Korean mothers often are. She looks at Genevieve with an expression that's hard to read. Genevieve, thank you for coming. Of course, Mrs. Park. Sit. Please. Genevieve sits across from Jin, who nods once in greeting but doesn't smile. His father, quiet, reserved Mr. Park, pours her tea without being asked. A good sign, maybe. James grins at her. So, this is awkward. James, Jin says sharply. What? It is. My brother got his best friend pregnant, and now we're all having dinner like it's a normal Tuesday. That's the definition of awkward. It's Monday, Genevieve says automatically, and James laughs. I like you. Always have. He raises his beer in a mock toast. Congrats on the baby, by the way. I'm going to be the cool uncle. James, enough. Mrs. Park's voice cuts through. She turns to Genevieve. Tell me, what are your intentions? Mom, Jin starts. No, this is important. Mrs. Park's eyes are sharp, assessing. You're having my grandchild. I need to know what that means. Are you together? Are you getting married? What is this arrangement? We're co-parenting, Genevieve says carefully. We're not together. Why not? Because it's complicated. Complicated how? Because they're both idiots, James offers. He's been in love with her forever. She's been in love with him forever. But they're too stubborn to admit it. James, I swear to God. Jin's voice is low, dangerous. It's true, and you know it. Mrs. Park holds up a hand for silence. Is this true? Are you in love with my son? The question is direct, unavoidable. Genevieve looks at Jin. He's staring at his plate, jaw tight, refusing to meet her eyes. Yes, she says quietly. I am. Jin's head snaps up. Don't. Don't what? Tell the truth? Don't do this now. Not here. Where then? When? You won't talk to me. You can barely look at me. When am I supposed to tell you that I meant every word I said that night? That I love you? That saying it was a mistake was the mistake? The table goes silent. Even James, who clearly thrives on chaos, is quiet. Jin's eyes are dark, unreadable. You said you regretted it. I regretted hurting you. I regretted being a coward. I didn't regret sleeping with you. I didn't regret telling you I loved you. I regretted running away instead of being brave enough to stay. You're saying this now? In front of my family? I'm saying it because you won't let me say it anywhere else. Mrs. Park clears her throat. Perhaps we should give you two privacy. No. Jin stands abruptly. We're done here. He walks out. The door chimes behind him. Genevieve sits frozen, humiliated, wanting to disappear. Mr. Park breaks the silence. He needs time. I've given him time. Not enough. He pours more tea, calm and measured. My son has loved you very long time. You hurt him. That's not easy to forgive. I know. But he will forgive. Because he loves you. Because that baby... He gestures to her stomach. That baby is his. And Jin is good man. Good father. He will do right thing. I don't want him to do the right thing. I want what you want and what you get, not always same thing. Mrs. Park's voice is softer now. But sometimes they become same. If you patient. If you fight. I don't know how to fight for someone who won't let me in. Then you find way. Mrs. Park stands, comes around the table. You strong woman. You love my son. So you find way. She leaves money on the table for the meal and walks out with her husband. James lingers, grinning. That was brutal. But also kind of awesome. James, for what it's worth, I think you guys will figure it out. You're too stubborn not to. He stands, squeezes her shoulder. And I wasn't kidding about the cool uncle thing. I'm going to spoil that kid rotten. After he leaves, Genevieve sits alone in the empty restaurant, surrounded by the ghosts of better times. Wednesday brings the worst complication yet. Genevieve is in her office, reviewing Q1 projections, when her email pings. A meeting request from Dominic. Thursday, 8 a.m. Urgent, your attendance required. Jin is CC'd. Her stomach drops. Dominic doesn't call urgent meetings unless something is seriously wrong. She forwards the email to Jin with one word. His response comes immediately. No idea, but it's not good. They're both right. Thursday morning, Genevieve arrives at Dominic's office at 7:55. Jin is already there, looking tense. They sit in their usual chairs. Professional distance, no touching. Colleagues who share nothing but a complicated secret. Dominic walks in at exactly 8 a.m. His face is grim. We have a problem. He drops a manila folder on the desk. Inside is a printed email. Anonymous sender. No subject line. Just a message. Dominic Park should know that Jin-Woo Park and Genevieve Okonkwo have been violating company fraternization policy. They had a sexual relationship at the company anniversary party. She's now pregnant with his child. Thought? You should know before the board meeting about Jin's succession. Genevieve's blood runs cold. When did you get this? Jin's voice is controlled, but she can hear the fury underneath. This morning, 6 a.m., from an encrypted email account we can't trace. Someone's trying to sabotage the succession, Jin says. This is corporate politics. Or someone genuinely concerned about policy violations. Dominic looks between them. Is it true? Did you have a relationship at the party? We told you we had a brief relationship, Genevieve says carefully. We disclosed. You told me last week. This email suggests the board should know before making succession decisions, which implies this person thinks Jin's judgment is compromised. My judgment is fine, Jin says flatly. Is it? Dominic challenges. Because from where I'm sitting, you slept with your VP, got her pregnant, and are trying to maintain professional boundaries while working together every day. Some people would argue that's exactly the kind of judgment issue that disqualifies you from CEO consideration. The words land like punches. What do you want us to do? Genevieve asks. I want you to tell me the truth, all of it, because if I'm going to protect you from whoever sent this, I need to know exactly what I'm dealing with. Jin and Genevieve look at each other, an entire conversation in one glance. Do we tell him? Do we trust him? Do we have a choice? We've been in love with each other for over a decade, Jin says quietly. We never acted on it because of work, because of our friendship, because of fear. The night of the party, we finally admitted it. We slept together. The next morning, Vieve panicked and said it was a mistake. We haven't had a relationship since then. She found out she was pregnant last week. That's the truth. Dominic absorbs this, silent. Then, so, someone at that party saw something, saw you leave together, maybe overheard the conversation on the balcony, and now they're using it to undermine Jin's succession. What do we do? Genevieve asks. We handle it strategically. I'll tell the board that you're expecting a child together, that you've established appropriate professional boundaries, and that your personal situation has no bearing on job performance. If they push, I'll remind them that your private lives are private. And if they don't accept that? Jin asks. Then we deal with it. But I'm not letting some anonymous coward destroy 2 careers over a relationship that's already over. The words hurt more than they should. A relationship that's already over. Dominic dismisses them with instructions to say nothing, do nothing, wait for his guidance. The board meeting is in 3 weeks. 3 weeks to figure out if this sabotage will destroy everything. In the elevator afterward, Jin and Genevieve stand in charged silence. We should figure out who sent that email, Genevieve says. What's the point? The damage is done. The point is someone's trying to destroy your career. Don't you want to know who? I want to know why you had to confess your feelings in front of my entire family. The subject change is whiplash. What? Monday, at dinner. You couldn't have waited? Couldn't have talked to me privately? You had to humiliate me in front of my parents? I didn't mean. You never mean to hurt me. You just keep doing it anyway. The elevator doors open. Jin walks out without looking back. Genevieve stands there, alone, and realizes she's losing him. Not just the romantic relationship they could have had, but the friendship that sustained them for 20 years. And she doesn't know how to stop it. That night, she lies in bed, hand on her stomach, and talks to the tiny human growing inside her. Your father hates me. Your grandmother thinks I'm too impulsive. Anonymous assholes are trying to destroy both our careers. This is a mess. The baby doesn't respond. Babies don't at 6 weeks. But Genevieve keeps talking anyway. I love him. I've loved him for so long I don't remember what it was like not to love him. And I don't know how to fix what I broke. Her phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. You should know Jin-Woo has been in love with you since sophomore year of college. He told me once that you were the only person who made him want to be better. Maybe stop running and start fighting. James. Genevieve stares at the message. James is right. They're all right. She's been running. From her feelings, from fear, from the possibility that she could have everything she wants if she's brave enough to reach for it. Tomorrow, she decides. Tomorrow, she'll stop running. Tomorrow, she'll fight. The next morning, Genevieve arrives at work with a plan. She's going to talk to Jin. Really talk. Not the careful, professional distance they've been maintaining. She's going to make him listen. Make him understand. But when she gets to his office at 7:15, his door is closed. Locked. She tries his cell. Goes straight to voicemail. She checks his calendar. Blocked all morning. Personal. She asks his assistant. Mr. Park is out today. He didn't say when he'd return. Genevieve stands in the hallway, coffee cups in hand, and realizes he's not just avoiding her anymore. He's disappeared. Has anyone ever loved someone so much it terrified them into pushing them away? Drop a comment. Because sometimes the hardest part isn't falling in love. It's having the courage to stay there. And right now, Vieve and Jin are both standing at the edge, too scared to jump. Part 3 drops next. Subscribe and turn on notifications because when Jin finally comes back, when the board meeting arrives, when everything they've been hiding threatens to explode, they'll have to make the hardest choice of their lives, their careers, or each other. Their carefully constructed walls, or the messy, complicated truth. Comment right now. What would you do? Risk everything for love or protect what you've built? The choice is coming, and it will change everything.